just changed and Russia didn't see it coming. Ukraine has activated a new kind of warfare, a 300-kilometer kill zone where Russian forces are being destroyed before they even reach the front line. This is not just a series of strikes. This is a coordinated medium-range campaign designed to break the Russian war machine from the inside out. From shattered Iskander bases in Crimea to burning oil infrastructure deep inside Russia, the message is clear. There is no safe zone left. And what we're about to show you is not just destruction, it's the system behind it. We are deconstructing the sophisticated AI-driven technology and the radical shift in Ukrainian doctrine that has turned 2026 into the definitive endgame for the Russian spring offensive. Putin wanted a war of attrition. Instead, he's found himself trapped in a digital execution. The engines are warm, the targets are locked. This is the intelligence report the Kremlin hoped you'd never see. Folks, I need to hear from you right now. What do you think is going through Putin's mind as he watches his air defenses explode and his supply lines turn to ash under Ukrainian drone fire? Is this the beginning of the end for Russia's invasion, or are we about to see an even more desperate Kremlin lash out? Drop your thoughts in the comments immediately because this fight is intensifying by the hour and your voice is part of the story. The strategic friction in the East has evolved beyond mere attrition. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in Ukrainian military doctrine. Kyiv has transitioned from a reactive defense to a proactive, deep shatter, offensive hunting Russian assets with surgical precision. While the Kremlin's high command struggles to adapt, their once secure rear echelons are disintegrating under a coordinated swarm of high-tech assets. This isn't just about morale, it's a calculated masterclass in modern operational art, designed to deconstruct Russia's logistical architecture before their spring offensive can even find its footing. Overnight into April 20th, this doctrine manifested in a 300-kilometer kill zone where Russian forces found nowhere left to hide from charred Iskander bases to the vaporized remains of Black Sea Fleet logistics hubs. The footage coming out of Donetsk and Crimea tells the whole story. Ukrainian FPV drones from the Azov First Corps screamed across the sky, capturing crystal clear, full-color, high-definition video as they flew deep behind enemy lines. In occupied Donetsk, these drones hunted Russian convoys, armored vehicles, and troop gatherings along the critical logistical lifelines that Putin desperately needs to sustain his offensive. Russian air defenses were powerless. Time after time, the drones found their mark, slamming into trucks loaded with ammunition, striking command posts, and destroying everything that keeps the Russian war machine moving. And this is exactly how the 300-kilometer kill zone expands deeper every night. The Magyar birds released 6 full minutes of raw combat footage, showing drone after drone diving toward its target with terrifying accuracy. Fires erupted across the occupied territories. Buildings collapsed in massive explosions. Russian air defense systems that were supposed to protect these assets were themselves blown apart by the very weapons they were meant to stop. The same fury rained down on Crimea. Once considered a safe rear area by the Kremlin, the peninsula is now a battlefield where Ukraine strikes with impunity. Ukrainian drones destroyed multiple Iskander missile deployment bases, the very launch platforms Russia uses to rain ballistic missiles on Ukrainian cities. In one devastating sequence, a pair of these high-value sites went up in flames, cutting off Russia's ability to fire those deadly weapons from Crimean soil. A Pantsir S-1 air defense system in Feodosia was obliterated. An ammunition depot supporting the remnants of the Black Sea Fleet in Mishiria exploded in a fireball visible for miles. Ukraine's 9th Battalion of the 414th Brigade played a starring role, taking out 2 major oil depots at Hlaiboki Yar and Oktyabrski. These were not random hits. This was a calculated campaign to starve the Russian military of fuel and force the Black Sea Fleet into even greater paralysis. The fleet that once dominated the sea has already lost a third of its warships and fled its main port in Sevastopol. Now it is losing the oil and ammunition it needs to survive. But how are these drones bypassing Russia's notoriously dense electronic warfare umbrellas? The answer lies in the hardware. These latest medium-range platforms utilize terminal phase AI, allowing them to operate autonomously once they enter an EW contested zone. By switching from GPS dependency to an onboard visual inertial navigation system, they can identify and strike targets even when their connection to the operator is completely severed. Coupled with carbon composite airframes that offer a significantly reduced radar cross-section, Ukraine has created a ghost fleet that the S-400 and Panzer systems simply weren't designed to intercept. But Ukraine was not finished with Crimea. 2 days later, on April 20th, drones struck oil depots in Sevastopol itself, delivering a classic double tap that left massive fires raging through the port. The message to Putin was unmistakable. Your most valuable assets are no longer safe anywhere. Even deeper inside Russia, in the Krasnodar Krai region near Tuapse, Ukrainian drones reached out and touched a Rosneft oil refinery, one of the 10 largest in the entire country. The facility that processes 12 million tons of oil products and accounts for up to 10% of Russia's total petroleum exports turned into a blazing volcano visible from the Black Sea. The regional governor tried to claim it was drone debris, but the world saw the truth. This was a direct, devastating strike on Russia's economic lifeline. The hatred driving these attacks runs both ways. Russian commanders are furious that Ukraine has developed the ability to strike so deep and so accurately. Ukrainian forces are fueled by years of Russian aggression, occupation, and relentless missile attacks on their cities. Now the roles have reversed. Ukraine's drones are the hunters, and Russia's forces are the prey. Every destroyed air defense system opens the door for even bigger follow-up strikes. Every burned oil depot means Russian tanks and trucks have less fuel to reach the front. Every wrecked Iskander base means fewer ballistic missiles raining down on Ukrainian homes. This is not random chaos. This is the result of a brilliant new Ukrainian strategy that has filled a critical gap in their drone warfare playbook. For years, Ukraine dominated with short-range FPV drones on the front lines and long-range strikes deep inside Russia. But the middle ground, the 20 to 300 kilometer range, remained a challenge. That gap has now been closed. In the past year alone, from March 2025 to March 2026, Ukraine carried out 365 medium-range strikes, one every single day. Half of those focused on destroying Russian air defenses in the occupied territories, systematically blinding Putin's forces. The newly created Deep Strike Center within Ukraine's Unmanned Systems Forces has coordinated these attacks with lethal efficiency, allowing multiple units to hit 16 targets in one night with devastating precision. The battlefield consequences are brutal for Russia. The kill zones that already stretched 50 kilometers behind the front lines have now tripled in size. And this is exactly how the 300-kilometer kill zone expands deeper every night. Russian troops moving up to reinforce the spring offensive are being destroyed before they even reach the danger areas. Casualties are mounting at an unsustainable rate. The Institute for the Study of War reports growing societal discontent inside Russia, with Putin's approval ratings dropping sharply in recent weeks. Russian state polls, even when massaged to look better for the Kremlin, show straight weeks of decline. The people are tired of the endless meat grinder, and Ukraine's medium-range campaign is making that pain worse every single day. However, the road to victory remains steep. To To maintain this one-strike-a-day tempo, Ukraine faces a staggering industrial challenge. Orchestrating 365 high-precision strikes a year requires a domestic supply chain that can keep up with a near-constant expenditure of high-end components. While Western aid and localized production have surged, Russia is also recalibrating, shifting their command nodes deeper and attempting to harden their infrastructure. For Ukraine, the war is now a race against time. Can they expand their kill zone faster than Russia can relocate its vital organs? Halfway through this unfolding catastrophe for the Russian invasion, I want to hear from you again. Do you believe Ukraine's new medium-range drone strategy will finally break the back of Putin's spring offensive and force Russia into a collapse? Or will the Kremlin find some desperate way to counter these strikes? Be honest in the comments right now, because the momentum on the battlefield is shifting fast and your perspective matters. What we are witnessing is the genius of Ukraine's evolving warfare. By systematically destroying air defenses first, Ukraine clears the path for deeper, more damaging strikes on oil depots, ammunition storage, drone workshops, and command centers. The Rubicon unit, Russia's own elite drone specialists, had their facility in Hirn turned into rubble. The very weapons Russia hoped would give them an edge are being neutralized in their own backyard. In Zaporizhia, a Buk M1 air defense system in Bahativka was taken out, opening yet another corridor for future Ukrainian strikes. Every explosion, every fireball, every column of black smoke rising from occupied territory is proof that Ukraine is no longer just surviving. Ukraine is dictating the pace of this war. Russia's spring offensive in Donetsk. The region Putin covets more than any other is bleeding itself dry. For every square kilometer gained, Russia is losing hundreds of soldiers, and Ukraine's medium-range drones are accelerating that butcher's bill. The fortress belt that Ukraine has built is holding strong while Russian logistics burn behind the lines. The occupied territories are no longer a safe rear area. They have become a killing field where Ukrainian drones hunt day and night. This is the new reality on the battlefield in 2026. Ukraine's drones are faster, smarter, and more numerous than ever. Russia's air defenses are crumbling. Putin's grand plans for the year are collapsing around him in flames and smoke. The hatred that started this war is now being answered with Ukrainian precision and determination that the Kremlin never expected. Stay locked in, because the next wave of Ukrainian strikes could come at any moment. The drones are in the air, the targets are locked, and the Russian war machine is feeling the full fury of a nation fighting for its survival. This is live battlefield reporting at its most intense. Keep those comments coming. I am reading every single one. The momentum is with Ukraine, and the world is watching history being made one precise drone strike at a time. If Ukraine maintains this brutal pace of one medium-range strike every single day, then by June 2026, the entire Russian logistics system in Crimea will be completely wiped off the map. Do you actually believe that's possible? Then don't miss our next video. The plan to liberate Crimea. Click subscribe now. Don't miss a single moment of this historic journey. Your time is valuable. We promise analyses as sharp as reality itself. Stay vigilant, stay informed. We'll see you in the next video. Disclaimer: this video contains content generated or supported in whole or in part by artificial intelligence. This material is intended solely for simulation, illustration, and entertainment purposes. It does not represent real-world events, nor does it constitute political or military advice or verified information. Certain elements may be fictional, dramatized, or inaccurate. Viewers should not rely on this video as a credible source of information or as a basis for real-world decision-making.